Hi, Shawna Karish here with another Ask Shawna answer. This question comes from Emily, and she says, "Hi Shawna, my gelding gets sexually aroused when I clicker train him. In another book, the author said that with horses like this, you should not clicker train them for a year or more, but I do not wish to go back to negative reinforcement. Any ideas, Emily?" You know, this is something that happens sometimes, and I've, you know, at first I was like, what? But I would oftentimes see dropping more than actually sexually aroused, but sometimes it does get there. And what I've understood is that the dropping particularly is a sign of super relaxation. But I know what you mean. It can be kind of disturbing. About the waiting a year, I think if you go back to it in a year, I think you're going to get right where you were. I mean, that's when I've seen horses that have been a long time away, it is kind of the same. They pick up right where they left off. So I don't necessarily think that it's going to go away in a year's time. At least that's not been my experience and what I've seen. So I've utilized a couple tools, and there is a blog post about this if you want to read a little bit more about it. And it is what I found. There's a couple things that I've used. Is one, as soon as they start to drop, a lot of times if you incorporate things that move, a lot of times they kind of bring everything back up and in. So I do things like teach them to trot with me. So, and I would do like demonstrations in front of, you know, hundreds of people, and you have family, it was just not something I wanted to deal with at that time. So as long as I kind of do a few behaviors, and if I started to feel like, I would just trot on, and he would, a lot of times, it would all kind of come back together. But another thing I do, and this is another choice to be made, as long as I feel like they're paying attention and not getting distracted, and they can focus and do what they're supposed to do, I don't worry about it. It's different if you're kind of in a public place, or if it starts to escalate. But if it starts to escalate, or if, a lot of times I can't even tell just because you're looking at their head, you're looking straight on, you're not really seeing what's happening, but you'll start to kind of see them kind of not quite with me. That's what I would detect, is not quite with me as sharp as they normally are. And I realize, then you look underneath and you realize what's going on. So I would say, as long as they focus, and as long as they, then don't worry about it. And also incorporating the trotting, and you have to reinforce that at first, because I'll be a little reluctant, because they just as soon stand there doing what they're doing. That means putting more energy into trotting, so you'll have to reinforce that, but you'll get that. You can totally manage it with that, from what I've seen. And then if you do feel like they're consistently not paying attention, or just not really being the same in the training session, what I recommend you do is just either leave the training session for a few minutes, or depending on where they live and what you're doing, or a lot of times I'll just put them home for like 5-10 minutes. So I kind of say, you know what, if you're not paying attention, I need you to pay attention. I put them home, give them a few minutes, think about it, go do something else, and I take them out in just a few minutes and try it again. And then see if you can't get their attention and keep their attention. So it takes a little bit of fiddling with, but it is definitely something that you can do. I'd stick with the positive reinforcement. It's just such a good tool. I think just finding tools to management will be the best thing. Anyway, so check out that blog post. It may also give you some more input, and maybe even a place to start a discussion a little bit. Anyway, so I hope this helped you out. And until next time, my name is Shawna Karish, and if you have any questions, askshawna.com. Bye.